The balanced scorecard. Okay, this is a good concept for everybody to understand. Okay, the balanced scorecard. Think about the balanced scorecard, kind of like a report card of the performance of the organization. You know, like when you children, they bring you the report card from the school, and it shows all the different areas, subjects, how well they are doing. Okay, well, think about the same, but for the organization, a report card, so we can see how well the organization is doing in 4 different areas. In 4 different areas, we're going to be looking at how the organization is performing when it comes to the financial perspective, the customer perspective, business process perspective, and learning and growth perspective. Okay, so think about like a report card. Think about like a spreadsheet where you're going to be putting those 4 areas. So we are going to be assessing the performance of the organization in those 4 different areas. How we're doing with a financial perspective, how we're doing with our sales, how we're doing with our expenses, how we're doing with the increase of sales and things like that. Okay, anything that is financial. We're also going to be measuring the performance of the organization when it comes to customers, customer service, customer retention. Like when you go to a drive-through and they give you a little receipt, and on the back, there's a little customer service survey. Okay, they want to measure the level of satisfaction. Okay, so that's the customer perspective. We want to measure that. Then the business process perspective, we want to measure our business processes. You know, how many lines per hour, depending on the technology that we're using, all our business processes, our inventory levels and things like that. And then we want to also measure the performance of the organization in what we call the learning and growth perspective. The learning and growth perspective refers to the employees, level of satisfaction of the employees. Maybe you want to measure your employee turnover. Maybe you want to measure your employee engagement results. Maybe you want to measure the amount of training that we're providing to the employees. Maybe we want to measure the amount of ideas, suggestions that the employees are providing to you. Okay, so here on this report card for the organization, where we're going to be assessing the performance in these 4 different areas, think that you're going to create leading indicators. You're going to be creating goals in each of these areas, right? You create goals. My goal on the financial perspective is that sales are going to increase in the next quarter by 25%. Customer perspective is that we're going to be getting an additional 35% more in customers, okay, in the next quarter. My business process, we're going to be lowering the inventory levels. We don't want to have inventory on the shelves because the stockroom is not selling anything. We're going to be we're just going to be ordering what we can put on the shelves, not in the stockroom. We want to also measure the level of turnover, employee engagement, number of hours that we're training our employees every month. So you're going to create leading indicators in these 4 different areas. And then what are you going to do? You're going to get the actual performance. So you're going to be comparing your leading indicators to your lagging indicators. Are we pretty much meeting the goals? Are we doing better than our goals? Or are we falling below our goals? So it's a report card, pretty much. That's the balanced scorecard. It's a tool that you're going to be using to assess the organization's performance by looking at these 4 different areas. It's a tool that is going to let you align, and I'm always using the word alignment because you're going to see that word a lot on the exam, right? So it's a tool that is going to let you align the goals in these 4 different areas against the actual results. Are we in alignment? Are our goals in alignment with the actual performance of the organization? That's the balanced scorecard, a tool to help you assess and measure the performance of the organization in these 4 different areas. The financial perspective, which is going to give you historical data something that already passed. So you're going to be creating goals, and then you're going to measure the actual performance. The customer perspective, that is going to measure like the customer's level of satisfaction, maybe the amount of customers that we're retaining, that we're not losing, new customers that we're gaining, the level of satisfaction of the customer. We're also going to be measuring the business process perspective. For example, the time spent prospecting, the number of units that require rework or process costs, the level of inventory, again, the technology that we're using, how productive, how efficient we are. And then the learning and growth perspective, that is going to measure the learning curve, for example, the numbers of employee suggestion or total hours spent of staff training. So think about the learning and growth perspective being the one related to the employee's satisfaction, the learning time that we're providing to our employees and their level of satisfaction and employee engagement. That's the learning and growth perspective, refers just to our employees. If our employees are happy, then our customers are going to be happy. If our employees are happy and satisfied, then we're going to be successful. Okay, makes sense? The Balanced Scorecard, please remember what is the Balanced Scorecard. It's a tool that is going to help us measure the performance of the organization in those 4 different areas. Think about it like a report card. We want to see how the organization is performing. It's a report card for the organization. It's going to help us align the organization goals with the actual performance. Questions?
Can you go over the business process again?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the business process measures reflecting the performance of key business processes. For example, the time spent prospecting, number of units that require rework or process costs. Let me go into another picture over here. Hold on. The business process is also known as internal processes. Like you're looking at your productivity rates for the departments. You're looking at your inventory levels. You're looking at quality control. You're looking at product lead time. You know, how many items are we processing by hour? How many lines are we processing by hour? What type of technology are you using that may be making you more efficient or less efficient? What are the processes that you're using? Are you using new technology? If you're using new technology, the latest technology, it's going to make you more efficient. You're more efficient. The competition is not that efficient. We're going to be able to win in the market. So all the internal business processes, measuring again the lines per hour, measuring, you know, how long do we take to process a particular order? Okay, within how long, you know, are we able to answer, you know, customers' complaints? You know, how well that will be customer service. Within how long do we resolve, you know, problems, issues with the technology? How soon we can, when a system goes down, how soon can we fix that? How soon can we go back and run our operations? What is the lead time that we're using to process orders and things like that? Does that make sense? Does that helps? Any internal processes that you're using, the type of technology that you're using to be more efficient, more productive. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.